Mark Carpenter, back with ISRI2017 Live, Day 3. We have an exciting show ahead for you. We're going to talk about PSI, our Paper Stock Industries Chapter Summit that they have going on, bringing paper recyclers, mills, consumers from all around to discuss the latest issues facing the paper recycling industry. We're also going to talk to some of our award winners that were presented at the opening session this morning. It was a fantastic session. Rave reviews about Amy Herman, Lifetime Achievement Award Herschel Cutler, several other awards that we will be talking about later on as well. So as you can see behind me is the exhibit hall. It's really hopping right now. We're well over 4,000 attendees. Right now it's the exhibit hall luncheon, so you're going to see people behind me coming and going and doing some networking over a great lunch. I haven't yet had a chance to eat and see what exactly the food is, but I'm hearing it's great. Over behind me, we'll take a little bit of a tour later, is the ISRI Member Services booth. And here, members, if you're here on site, you can stop by, have all of your questions answered about ISRI and some of the value that we provide and services that we offer. So Miles is over here with us. Why don't we catch him? Miles Cohen is the president of the Paper Stock Industries chapter. Miles, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Mark?
Good.
Good to see you.
Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you.
Miles, tell us a little bit about what the PSI, Paper Stock Industries chapter does.
Sure. Paper Stock Industries is a national chapter where a lot of chapters of ISRI are geographic chapters. So what we have the common thread that holds us together in Paper Stock Industries is that we all deal in recovered paper grades. So it's people who are paper mills, people who run companies that run material recovery facilities that separate curbside material, the paper from the plastic and the aluminum and stuff like that, which is mainly paper. 70% of that stuff is paper. And then people who just have paper baling plants where they're doing commercial industrial paper recycling. And also there's a lot of paper exporters, brokers, etc. So it's a cacophony of people who deal in recovered fiber members, and it's great networking, and it's great for getting together at ISRI because we do a lot of policy making and policy things at ISRI.
And ISRI, as for those that don't know, covers all the major commodities, metals, tire and rubber, plastic, paper, electronics. Our paper members are some of our most active members right now. Can you tell us some of the activities of the paper members are up to with PSI, their summit this week? What's the goals there, and what are some of the things you're doing?
Sure. Well, about 4 years ago, we started off doing something new that we had never done before, which is called the Specifications Summit. And we had the first one 4 years ago. It was in Tunica, Mississippi. We got about 40 or 50 people there, and it was just to talk about OCC and how the definition of old corrugated containers, the stuff that comes out of your back of your box stores and your grocery stores, etc., how the definition of that has changed over the years, and should we revise the definitions for the specifications. Then, so that was 4 years ago. 3 years ago, we did one where we talked about changing definitions for a lot of paper grades, and then last year we had a follow-up to that where we redefined and voted on new definitions for newspaper, residential papers, mixed paper, etc. And then this year we're doing the Specification Summit where we're talking about the preamble of the specification circular, where we're redefining things like what's the definition of prohibitives, outthrows. There's a new category which has never been in any of the specification circulars before called zero tolerance items, which are things that shouldn't be in paper at all, like medical and hazardous waste and glass and things like that. And then we're also talking about new shipping rules for export as well as domestic. And the last thing that we're talking about the next couple of days is moisture levels. What are acceptable moisture levels for buying bales of paper? So we've had anywhere between a low of 50 people, 40 or 50 people, to a high of around 130 people in the industry that have come to the Specification Summit. And it's quite interesting. It's sort of a food fight because you have differences of opinions between the people who are packing and selling the paper versus the people who are buying it in terms of what they want, in terms of prohibitives, outthrows, moisture, and all the other stuff. So it's really interesting. We all have a big debate, and then if you're a member of ISRI, you get to vote. on the changes. And if you're not a member of ISRI and you don't get to vote, then you just have to comply with the changes when you're selling somebody OCC number 11, old corrugated containers. Hey, it is what the membership voted on. So if you're not a member, you should be involved in ISRI, because then you have a say and you get to vote.
That sounds like a really packed agenda with a lot of things going on. So you mentioned last year the specs that were passed.
Yep.
How does that translate down to the local levels and what individuals can do at a consumer level or the municipalities can do to help?
Right, so great question. So one of the things that we have as a new spec is, for instance, the inbound specification, which is a first time ever a specification for commingled single stream. What can be in it, what shouldn't be in it. So how does that impact? Well, now for the first time ever, a municipality or a government jurisdiction, a county, a municipality, or whatever, if they are deciding what to collect and what to allow their households to put in the bin, they now, for the first time ever, have a written document that they can refer to that's an ISRI document that all the members say these types of things are allowed in the recycling today, and they maybe didn't know whether. So right now you have cities across the country that have different standards for what's in and what's out of the bin. We're trying to standardize that so there's less contamination, so the things that are put in a recycling bin are really saleable and really are recyclable and don't end up in the landfill anyhow.
Sounds like there's been a lot of changes over the last couple of years, all for the good and making a big impact on the industry, and I think that's one of the biggest values that the paper members bring to ISRI and the industry as a whole. I want to thank you very much. I know you're busy and you have a lot of meetings going on, and I'm going to let you get back to that, but thank you for taking the time for stopping by and talking about the efforts of PSI.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Yep. Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Next, we're going to move on to our Jason winner, our Jason contest winner. Each year, ISRI teams with Jason Learning to put on an a video and poster contest. So I'm being joined right now by Tom Knippel and Jacob Fowle, 7th grader from Idaho. Is that correct?
Yes, Idaho.
Right. Why don't we start with you, Tom? Good seeing you again. Tom, you're one of our most active members. Why don't you tell us about who you represent and what your interest in ISRI is?
Well, I've been on the ISRI board for about 25 years, and my interest with this is chair of Jason Project. We looked at Jason several years ago as such a great conduit to get the word out about recycling. We're contacting literally millions of students and teachers through the program to help them learn about recycling, what we've been doing for years but the general public's not aware of. My passion is, I have a degree in education. That was where I started, so I understand the implications of making this information available through the education system, through teachers, and through the contests that we have, and bringing in people like Jacob, who are going to be the next generation of making sure that recycling works in America.
Right. And so for those, we have this program that helps members reach out to schools. If there's any members that are out there that are interested, what are some of the examples of things that they can do in their local schools?
We have so many instruments available for use by members within their school district. We have the product available. All they have to do is ask. We can supply them with the information and help them to get this program into their local schools. It's a turnkey operation because we put together all the materials. It's basically making the contact within their area and letting teachers, administrators, principals, so on know that this program is available, and we can help facilitate how they can participate. So we've got all the information. We've got all the tools. All you have to do is let us know, and we'll set you up.
Great. Well, thank you very much, and Jacob, congratulations again on your video. Why don't you tell our audience? Why don't you describe the video first of all?
It's basically a Lego stop motion animation where you move it, take a picture, and just keep doing that. It's about how last year my dad he donated a car to be recycled from a grandma that he got the car, and we were just basically estimating what happened from all the information we got from jason.org and scrap maps that were on there, and seeing how they recycled it. And, yeah.
And if you're watching this through our Facebook page right now, also right below is the video itself that won, and you can watch that. You also can go to our YouTube page and search Institute of Scrap Recycling Industries. We have our own channel there, and the video is posted there as well. So what interested you in this topic? Do you like science? Is that your favorite subject in school?
It's not my favorite subject. What made me do this competition was my dad. He came in one day and said, if you wanted to do this competition, I'm like, yeah, that sounds fun. And so then he brought me to this website that he is using in his school. He doesn't teach science anymore. He teaches like computer science, a STEM class. And he's teaching this new thing called WeVideo.com. And I used that to make the entire video.
And it's such a cool video. I don't think I could ever make any kind of video like that myself. So you've had an opportunity to go through the hall. I've seen a couple of pictures of you with some of the big equipment. What are your impressions when you've walked a hall of everything that you've seen?
They're all bigger than me. That's one of them.
Have you had lots of fun?
Yeah, it was cool. There was this thing over there. Well, yeah, it's over there. It's like not a virtual reality, but there is one there. But it's a simulation where you have to like drive a tractor, and there's like a screen that shows the tractor and has the controls and everything. It's really cool, and there's all these different mechanical things.
So you've had a lot of fun. Have you done anything outside of the show while you're here on vacation?
Yes. What was it? It was my first plane ride here.
That's cool.
I've ever been on a plane. And we also went we just walked around a while, and we had a lot of beignets. Those are amazingly delicious. They're so powdery goodness.
So next year you need to build a plane out of Legos and make a video of how you recycle a plane.
Yeah.
Well, Jacob, congratulations. What are you telling all the kids back at school when you go back? Oh. Well, congratulations again. I hope you're having a lot of fun this week. Tom, thank you so much for all the work that you're doing to help spread the word of recycling to the next generation.
Lots of kids like Jacob coming forward to carry on recycling for us.
Yes.
Thank you, Chief.
And this contest that we run, the video and poster contest, is annual. It usually opens around September and runs through January. So look for on Facebook, social media, our website, ISRI.org. Look for all of that for that opens. It's a great resource to share with your local school districts, take into the classrooms. We have a variety of teaching materials, everything from lesson plans to just online resources that as a recycler you can share with your science, math, technology teachers in your local school district. It's a great outreach resource. So now we're going to talk to some of our other winners. We're going to our safety award winners. Every year for, I believe it's now in the 5th year, we've had a Safety Transportation Award series. We have company awards. They are presented to the companies with the best fleet safety records, and then we have individual awards. 2 of the awards are one award's for the best driver, and the second award is for the Golden Wrench Award for the best mechanic. So I'm going to go now to Gene Reed. Hello, congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much.
So you won the Driver of the Year award. Why don't you tell us? I believe it was 46 years of driving without
A preventable accident.
Preventable accident. Thank you. So why don't we start off with what does safety mean to you? Why is it so important to you?
Oh, everything revolves around the safety issue. I mean, whether I'm at work or at home, it's just got to be there. I mean, that's number one priority.
And how did you gave a great speech this morning at the opening general session where you received an award. You went into a little bit of your history on why you have a great track record of volunteerism. What are some of the things you were back in New Orleans after you served here as a volunteer? Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about your record there?
I came to New Orleans in 2005, and I came in as a tech, and we set up communication devices and satellite dishes to establish call centers for the local residents so they could start calling in for federal aid.
And this was after Hurricane Katrina?
After Hurricane Katrina.
And you also have developed some things locally in where you live, volunteering at the fire department, but you've done a lot more than that too.
Well, yeah, I've worked with the local volunteer Red Cross chapter quite a bit, and I taught defensive driving there, ERV training, emergency response vehicle, deployed through my local chapter a couple times, so we really enjoy doing it. Look forward to doing more in retirement years.
So, getting back to your job and your day-to-day job, how do you build safety and showcase safety as a core value in how you go about your job on a day-to-day basis?
Well, first off, it's a pre-trip inspection. It's very important to get that accomplished and make sure there's no defects in the equipment. And then the other thing is what I said earlier, is anticipate the other drivers. I mean, that's just key to trying to avoid accidents before they happen.
And then, you're obviously a veteran driver, 46 years straight there. You also mentioned that congratulations, you have a great grandchild on the way.
Yes, yes. We've got 14 grandkids and soon to be great grandparents this fall.
Well, great, congratulations on that. What would you tell someone who's just entering the driving field in terms of safety? What would your advice to them be?
Slow down. Everybody's in such a big hurry. The dispatchers push a lot of times. Guys just get in a big hurry to get ahead of the next driver's speed. If you just slow down, take your time, and be aware of their circumstances, I think that's the biggest key.
Great. I think that's very wise advice. So now you've been here as part of winning the Driver of the Year award. You get a trip to the ISRI convention. What are your impressions when you walked in? What did you see when you saw the exhibit hall?
Oh, I was totally impressed. I had no idea there would be this much heavy equipment here, so it's quite an affair.
So you're able to take stuff home with you in terms of knowledge, ideas?
Yes, definitely. My transportation manager's here with me, and he's got some ideas that we're going to take back home and put together some equipment.
Well, that's great. So I'm glad you're able to get something out of this trip, and congratulations. And I think you're a great example of having safety built in as a core value as a person and as part of your job. So congratulations again, and thank you for all that you do for the industry.
Thank you. Been a pleasure.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too.
Now, we also had another award presented to Forrest Matheny, the Golden Wrench Award.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on receiving it.
Thank you.
So, as part of your award also, you got an opportunity to come to the convention this year. What are some of your general thoughts when you walked into this hall, saw the almost 300 exhibitors, 3 football fields?
This is more of an awe. I've never seen this much for our type of business in one spot. And it's just, if you need it, it's here. It's just a matter if you get it and take it home with you.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I can see right now.
There's a lot here for everybody.
There's something here for everybody. You just got to walk and see what you need, absorb it, and take it home.
Now, you, and I mentioned this, or I asked this with Gina as well. So obviously, you won this award for safety. How do you go about in your day-to-day incorporating safety as a core value into everything that you do?
We just stress safety on every repair we do. Any jobs you got on, anything, just even a quick repair coming through the shop, that you fix it right so it don't break on the road out there.
And as a veteran of the industry, what advice would you have for someone who's just starting out?
Learn as much as you can. Be part of a team. Don't be an individual. Learn to be coached. Learn to coach if you can. And just let everybody learn from you and you learn from them.
And I know one of some of the nomination recommendations as part of the award application, everyone said, came back, there's a lot of feedback of what a great mentor you are to your coworkers, and so congratulations on that and serving as a role model.
I was lucky that I learned and I had people that helped me, and I just tried to pass it on. And I had a lot of good help at Cohen Brothers and Ken Cohen and just everybody there. It's a great, if I hadn't worked there, I wouldn't be receiving this reward.
Mm-hmm. And that's Cohen Recycling.
Cohen Recycling.
Yep. And so we also talked before we went on camera, before we went live. You were presented with the award during the opening general session today. One of the key speaker this morning was Amy Herman, who has a presentation based on art and the art of perception and how you can use art in your everyday life and in business business life to draw certain things out of it that help and make you better in your day-to-day job. What did you get out of it? We were talking, I thought some of the things you said were very fascinating.
Well, you get into such a routine, and you're looking at everything that's natural, but she teaches you to go ahead and spread out your vision and see what's in the wide vision, so just looking at the tunnel vision, because that you already see in your eye. Look outside your eye and see what you can do. And if you need help, call, get answers before you make sure you're making the right decision.
And that's really relevant when it comes to safety.
Yes, sir. If you don't think you're right, call somebody. Get a second opinion, get a third opinion, whatever it takes to get it fixed safely.
Well, that's great advice. You're a role model to, I'm sure, more than just your coworkers, but the entire industry. So thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Hudson. Very impressed with this show.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of the time here.
I do. I will. Thank you very much.
Thanks again. Well, there you had it. We had some of our award winners this year. Nominations for the Safety Transportation Awards open up at the beginning of the year in January. So look for those again on our website, on our social media. We're looking for some of the top-notch safety drivers, mechanics, and also fleet awards. So while we're here, actually, I'm going to take a short trip around the ISRI membership booth, member services. So if you're on site, you can stop by. There's always ISRI staff here to get a general idea of some of the services that ISRI provides. Scrap theft alert, you probably saw this sign behind me quite a bit. If you're not using this is a great resource for both recyclers and local police departments. When someone, if there is a theft of metal, police can go in and enter it into this alert system, and it will notify yards within 100, 200 square mile mile radius of the alert, so that they can be on the lookout. We also have over here our ISRI Superfund Protection Program. It's actually open ordering season right now for ISRI reports to do your due diligence to help protect yourself from liability under Superfund law. There's more about this online, ISRI.org. I'm not going to make Rachel walk. Rachel is our camera person who's doing a great job. I'm not going to make her walk all the way around right now, but you can also see we have information on the other side related specifically to Jason Learning, which you heard about earlier. So you can stop by, pick up things there. We have all of our safety resources on this other end as well. So we have a lot of resources. Stop by the booth. There's always staff are here that can help you, or you can go online, ISRI.org, any of our social media. I'm Mark Carpenter. Thank you for joining us again today. Give our award winners a big round of applause. And if you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comment section on Facebook, and we will address them later this week. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock Central Time, same time as today, basically, with some of the other news and features. Before I sign off, I just want to do one last pan of I'm going to actually get out of the way, of the exhibit hall. You can see we're under the non-ferrous hospitality area. All the commodities have their own hospitality area, but we're at the far end. It will go three football fields down to the left, with all 4,000 people plus coming in this week. About 300 exhibitors. As you can see, tons of people talking, tons of business being done, lots of good connections being made, things that won't just be done here this week, but business that will continue on throughout the rest of the year and down the road. Actually, before I sign off, one last thing. I'm gonna interrupt this conversation over here. Commodore Hall, I'm live right now on Facebook, and he's actually talking to one of our esteemed paper members, Joel Littman.
Congratulations. How are you?
Good seeing you, Joel.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to stick the mic in your face, but I just couldn't resist the opportunity.
That's okay.
Joel's been we've worked closely on the communications committee and has been a dedicated ISRI member. And how are you enjoying yourself this week?
Well, it's been a great convention. For 24, celebrating our 25th anniversary this year, so we've always come with a focus on paper. But now, since we've gotten into metal, I've gotten some new charges from our office to say, look for this is the metal business. So it's really been a great opportunity just to kind of expand our reach as far as what we're looking for. So it's been a great convention as always.
That's great. And you're Texas Recycling down in Dallas.
In Dallas. So family-owned business. Like I said, we're celebrating our 25th anniversary. And a lot of that has to do with ISRI and what we've learned and gained from being a member.
So we were almost born at the same time. You're having your 25th anniversary. ISRI's having its 30th anniversary. Great.
We were members of NARI before then, so it's we've kept it going. We've kept it going.
Well, Joe, I'll let you get back to work, basically. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stick the mic in your face, but being a former communications chair, I couldn't resist. Yeah, and thanks everything for you've done for ISRI. Thanks. And Commodore is our Director of Safety Transportation.
Yes.
See, when you're live, you can be signing off and then still continue the show later on. Commodore is the one who's organized all the safety awards. We just interviewed the Golden Wrench.
Right.
And the
Forrest Matheny.
Yep.
And Gene Reed, Driver of the Year.
Driver of the Year. So you want to just make a quick pitch on why we do the Safety Transportation Awards and why it's important to the industry and promoting safety.
The Driver Award, I mean, it's a pinnacle award. With the Fleet Awards, the Pace Setter Award is a pinnacle award, and that's where we're measuring 36 months of data, the number of accidents per million miles over a 36-month period. And the Golden Wrench Award is another pinnacle award. And this year we had two awesome guys. Gene Reed had roughly 46.5 years of safe driving, and then just a lot of other community things that he's done throughout his career where he's given so much back to the community and the world overall. And then in addition to that, with Forrest Matheny, 41 years of service in vehicle maintenance and well over 20, I believe 22, 23 years with Cohen USA. The guy is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, his experience, he's really become a mentor in training other mechanics, junior mechanics. So, that's really helped to raise all boats within the industry, and so we really appreciate everything they've done for us.
And while we're on the subject of awards, I would like to congratulate Commodore on receiving the Best ISRI Employee Dressed Award.
Well, thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
They'll be waiting for you in your office when you get back.
I'll be looking for it. Okay.
Well, thanks again for joining us today. And again, tomorrow, 3 o'clock Central Time, local time here, we'll be talking to a couple more of the attendees here to get their perspective on everything related to the convention this week. We're wrapping up Thursday with a closing general session with Mike Rowe, and then our closing night party, which will be at Mardi Gras World this year. So we're looking forward to having a good time the rest of the week. Again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section, and we'll address them in future episodes. Thank you very much.